Hey everybody, wanted to bring you another video of a football life of Eric Dickerson. So I wanted to share what I thought on the NFL Network documentary on him, and I thought it was pretty good. I did not get a chance when I was growing up watching him, and it kind of showed me different perspective because looking at someone's record books does not translate to how good or appreciate how good the person was. So here's some facts that I thought was interesting. He was the number one recruit coming out of high school. A lot of teams were going after him: USC, Texas, Texas A&M, all types of school. He ended up going to SMU. You can see there was some old photos with the head coach handing an envelope to Eric Dickerson, and most people expected that, oh, maybe it was money that the coach was handing to him. So the other thing that was haunting him was the Trans Am, but he claims that it was bought by his grandma, and they said they have papers and proof of that. So that was another interesting thing. It just reminded me of LeBron James when he was in high school, how he received his Hummer. So there was, it seemed like he was ahead of his time as a diva. The way the documentary was done, it just made me think he's more of a diva type player, like Terrell Owens, and certain other players like a wide receiver that you would see and label them as a diva. He was drafted right behind John Elway as the number 2 overall pick when he came out of college. And some people were suspecting that maybe he came out knowing that SMU was going to get the death penalty for their recruitments and the way they recruited high school players. So another thing I thought, because he was pretty famous, you could see he had the goggles, and people thought, oh, maybe it was a fashion statement. Well, not really, because he was actually admitting that he was blind as a bat if he didn't have the goggles. He has subscription for his goggles, so he felt naked when he didn't have it if he tried wearing contacts too. Another interesting fact is that he was raised by his aunt and uncle within the family, so he was pretty much adopted, and his mom, which they didn't really touch base as much, his mom lived next door to them and was told that that was their sister, so that was his sister supposedly. But I guess he later found out the truth about it, the information. They didn't really go into much information on why that was the reason they decided to raise him that way. So he met O.J. Simpson and told him that he was going to break O.J. Simpson's record, and O.J. said good luck to him. And he did eventually break O.J. Simpson's record against the Houston Oilers, and that record still holds. Adrian Peterson came close, short, I believe 7 yards short. Another interesting fact I didn't know was that he was in the magazine of Playgirl, in which he's really embarrassed now to this day, and a lot of ladies or women knows him that way, which he blushes when you watch the video. He was not paid the highest player on the team. He felt like he's the quarterback. He carried the team for the Rams all this time, so he always felt like he should always be the highest paid player on any team that he's on. And that went with him everywhere, even with the Colts. When he got there, he wasn't really happy being a Colt. He was never really happy with his contract if he wasn't the highest paid player. And so he wanted to be traded, and he didn't even... Back then, they didn't really have agents, so he found out he was traded before Halloween party and had to fly out right away because the Colts wanted him to get ready for the Jets. their first game. So Jim Gray and Dickerson did an interview, broke the news, and then he flew out that same day. Broke the news of the trade at ESPN. So kind of ironic. Jim Gray did the same breaking news of Eric Dickerson and also LeBron James. So it seems like Jim Gray's always at the right place at the right time. He won his first game against the Jets. He was never really happy being a Colts. He was, like I said, he was ahead of his time as being diva. Never happy with his contract. He wasn't happy. Period. It seemed like playing football. Really, it just seemed like he was trying to collect his contract. Never heard that he was hardworking, driven, or anything. It was just he was gifted. First 9 games, he rushed more than 1,000 yards for the Colts, carried the team to the playoffs that year, got into the playoffs. The other thing you could tell when he got hurt, when he pulled his hamstring for one of those years, he kept pointing fingers at his teammates. So he just felt like he's a superstar and he could talk down on his teammates. He wasn't like the Jim Brown where he lifted his teammates. It's all about his teammates and everything like that. It was just sound like me, all about me. In '92, he played for the Raiders and told Marcus Allen he was promised to be the feature back, and Marcus Allen was supposed to be traded. Also, when he was with the Colts, I forgot that he was booed when he broke the record of Jim Brown's record. So even the Colts fans didn't appreciate him or liked him. Finished second as all-time rusher. Currently he runs a camp for the military kids, and it said that he reconciled with his former teams. I'm pretty sure he did with the Colts because he's in the Ring of Honor. But I don't think he did with the Rams because people always say that, and I think it was reported earlier that if they return to the LA Rams, that he might not be welcomed back. So go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. Thanks again. Until next time.